The immune system today is having to deal with tens of thousands of completely alien chemicals to the biological experience of the human organism. And what that means over a period of time is that we can become immune deficient, especially if we have the two-edged sword of the diet, or a poor diet, lack of hydration, lack of exercise, and stress cutting in at the same time.
I would suggest that up to 95% of the chronic illnesses that we're suffering from ADHD to Alzheimer's, heart attack, to stroke and cancer, to arthritis and all those other diseases are linked with our diet and lifestyle of the 21st century.
I think it's important to recognise the fact that 1 in every 2 men get cancer in their lifetimes and 1 in every 3 women get cancer in their lifetimes, and that we are facing a major and unparalleled cancer epidemic. And at the rate in which we're going, it'll become an almost universal problem in which 1 in every man will get cancer in their lifetime unless we come to grips with this question of reducing avoidable exposures to carcinogens in the totality of our environment.
45% of people living in the modern world can expect to die of some form of cardiovascular disease. The rates of cancer are increasing above 30% now. They used to be around 25, they're going up to 30, 35%. They're increasing all the time, and I think one of the reasons for that is the excessive exposure to these ubiquitous synthetic chemicals, both within our homes and outdoors as well, and also the increasing exposure to radiation. And it's just everywhere in many of the products we use within our home.
We're using chemicals that have simply not been tested over time to see what their effects would be, say, on the blood work, the reproductive system, the endocrine system, and these problems are now being identified as disease, and then a drug is being given to that person to correct the symptom, but no way is that correcting the underlying disease process, or indeed the causative process, which could be chemical.
In my practice, I have seen a lot of toxicity issues, a lot of sensitivity, allergy issues. We have people who are sensitive because the total load of all these sensitizing chemicals is too much for them to bear.
A chemical I'm concerned about is sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS, and the reason I'm concerned about it is, first of all, we know it's used extensively in industry as a degreaser, but nowadays it's found in just about every single one of the personal care products that an individual will have. So you've got it in your soaps, you've got it in your shampoos, conditioners, anything that foams up, you've got sodium lauryl sulfate.
And it is particularly harsh on our skin. It strips away all the natural oils. This is commonly found in toothpastes as well.
Of course, in a toothpaste, it's mixed with another half a dozen or a dozen products. And of course, they can also disrupt the cells in the mouth. The SLS can then be absorbed quicker into the blood, whereas it's exactly where you don't want it. Why do you want a foaming agent in your blood? It's crazy.
And so we find that, for example, diethanolamine causes cancer in rats. Now, would I want my children to be bathing in a bubble bath with diethanolamine in it? And it's unforgivable that cosmetic companies are using it. It's unexplainable that the governments, etc., are allowing this to happen.